What's going on, everybody? We're going to get ready to get started in just a minute as we get ready to talk to Tennessee Titans as they get ready to take on the Kansas City Chiefs this Sunday. And I mean, you know, this is, a terrific victory that happened this past Sunday. This past Monday night was just incredible. But now we got to move on. So, everybody make sure y'all share this show out, and we're going to get started in 30 seconds.
Check the mic and make sure it sound right, boys.
Good evening, Titan Nation. How is everybody? Good evening, Titan Nation. How's everybody doing? Welcome in to another edition of Titans of Truth tonight. I'm your man, Chris, a.k.a. Blue Enforcer, and we're going to have a great episode on this evening. Make sure y'all go ahead, and if you haven't been following already, follow me on Facebook at TNT Enforcers, on Instagram at Titans_N_Truth, and also on Twitter at TNT Blue Enforcer as well. And so definitely glad to have everybody with us on this very good evening. So again, make sure you share this show out on all of the platforms. I am over 1,000, so I'm trying to get to 2,000. So we are slowly heading in that direction. So y'all helping me out and everything. So I appreciate everybody that tuned in last night as well. Make sure y'all smash that like button. Let's try to get over 50 likes tonight. Let's try to get everybody up in here, and we're going to get this show on the road. So let's see what we got. I know we got quite a few people in here. Kent Woods, what's going on with you? Hakeem, tighten up. Kent said we need to win the next 3 games, make a statement that we're serious contenders and not pretenders. I agree with that. We got some people on Facebook. What's going on? Tighten up. We got Zach. What's up? Tremaine, on time. Jameson, on time. We got everybody up in here. Let's prove Monday was not a fluke. I agree. Dennis Williams, welcome in here. Tighten up. That was definitely a great victory. Justice Lawson said we will beat the Kansas City Chiefs. Zach said we need a cornerback bad. I agree. The Mad Titan, what's up? Jay, what it do? This was definitely a great victory. That much is true. So it was definitely a lot of fun seeing everybody up in Nissan Stadium on Monday night. It was incredible. Not hard to say name. Tighten up. I have good feelings for this, even if our secondary is decimated, which it is. And we're definitely going to get into that. So, again, y'all make sure y'all share this show out. And also, while we're at it, if you want some TNT swag, like this shirt that I have on right now, make sure y'all hit up Miss Latoya Everett Akinyemi. You can hit her up on Facebook. Also, you can hit her up on Instagram. Her Instagram name is Queen Butterfly Tees. Also, you can email her at queenbutterflytees@gmail.com. Also, if you want a Titans of Truth hat, like the red one that you see here, or like this blue one that I have on right now, you can hit up my guy at Out the Crib Customs on Instagram. That's at out_the_crib_customs, or you can check out the website at outthecribcustoms.com. Now, if all else fails, you can always hit me up at any time, whether it's on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, or my email address at canewell817@gmail.com. You can definitely hit me up there. So, and obviously we got a lot of we got a lot of people in here just coming on in. King Henry and the Titans forced the Bills to bend the knee. I know that much is right. Just I'm trying to see who your cousin is, whoever showed out. I'm glad they did. And Lee basically beat me to the punch at what I was going to say. One of our very own, the queen of the ladies of Titans Twitter, Miss Stephanie Perkins. Congratulations to her on being named the Titans Fan of the Year. And so now she's in the running for NFL Fan of the Year. And so she's already, she's going to be now for I believe, the final game of the year against Miami. She will be the 12th Titan. She will get to go to the Super Bowl. Her and her son, Nate, will be able to go to the Super Bowl this year and is in the running in LA. And they're in the running. She's in the running for NFL Fan of the Year. So again, I saw the video, Lance giving her the award and things like that. And I could tell she was extremely overjoyed and just extremely happy. And so I congratulate her. I'm definitely, I talk to her from time to time. I'm going to try to get her on for next month's Ladies Night again. She was on the first Ladies Night, if you remember, and was absolutely terrific. Loved having her on, and definitely will be working to try to get her back on again for Ladies Night in November before we play the New Orleans Saints. So Jay Barnett said Rashawn Evans. Rashawn didn't suck. I'll definitely say that. He didn't suck this time. So I definitely think he did all right. He did help make a couple of key plays. Will Henry, what's up? I'm glad you made it. Broke down in a truck, man. I hope you get that fixed. Yes, Jameson, definitely congratulations to her. Will said congratulations. Miss Mims in the building. Let's see. This is a rematch from last year's AFC Championship game. Well, 2 years ago, actually. 2 years ago. So, we definitely got to definitely try to take care of business and win this game. Yep. Everybody's talking about Derrick Henry, and the fact is we are definitely going to discuss Derrick Henry quite a bit. But I'm going to begin tonight's show a little differently tonight. I'm going to start off with a shut your pie hole to begin the show. And I think a lot of you know what I'm referring to, as this particular person needs to completely shut their pie hole tremendously. So I'm going to play the clip. I got it on Twitter, and I'm going to let y'all hear it for yourselves right here, right now. This
got a second stringer that happened on the play. Yes, Josh Allen Smith or Josh Allen slipped, but it got blown up on the left side because of the pressure of Tennessee. I wonder why. Could it be because Buffalo's Pro Bowl left tackle, Taylor Lewan, was injured? If he's there, maybe that doesn't happen, but he's out. So you got a second stringer that Josh Allen's trying to go behind, and you see he got destroyed. Dawkins, whoever that is. All right, so that's the problem. You're not good in the red zone overall. Happened on the.
Ladies and gentlemen, that was Chris Broussard when he was on First Things First this morning. Yesterday. That was Chris Broussard. And this is a special shut your pie hole. I know I usually do it at the end of the month, but I could not hold this back. The fact that Chris Broussard had the unmitigated nerve and the stupidity to not check his facts and basically says the reason why Josh Allen did not convert the fourth down is because the Bills were without their Pro Bowl left tackle, Taylor Lewan. The first thing I'm thinking is, he said that on national TV. I'm like, Mr. Broussard, two things. One, Taylor Lewan plays for the Tennessee Titans. Number two, stick to basketball. Leave football to the actual guys who study football. You are a basketball guy trying to talk football. How ridiculous did that sound? And I mean, it's bad enough it's on First Things First, a show that completely sucks. I mean, let me ask y'all this. First things last or worst things first? Let me ask y'all something. Who in this chat right now actually watches First Things First on a regular basis? Don't worry, I'll wait. The answer probably is nobody, because it sucks. And I mean, come on. You lose all credibility. You lose all respect when you do something as stupid as this. I mean, Taylor Lewan, a Pro Bowl left tackle for the Bills, and Dawkins was their backup. No, Dawkins was their starting left tackle and has been all year. And that tells you one thing. He didn't watch the game at all. And Reggie basically said it. He said it with such confidence and conviction. Said it with such confidence and conviction. I mean, my God. Matter of fact, hold on, y'all. We finna do this again. Here's the clip one more time. This is on my Twitter, courtesy of First Thing First, Chris Broussard.
On the play, yes, Josh Allen Smith or Josh Allen slipped, but it got blown up on the left side because of the pressure of Tennessee. I wonder why. Could it be because Buffalo's Pro Bowl left tackle, Taylor Lewan, was injured? If he's there, maybe that doesn't happen, but he's out. So you got a second stringer that Josh Allen's trying to go behind, and you see he got destroyed. Dawkins, whoever that is. All right, so that's the...
Once again, I honestly did not know that Taylor Lewan plays left tackle for the Buffalo Bills. And Taylor Lewan dealt with a concussion. You know? Of course Taylor Lewan wasn't going to be in there for the Bills because he doesn't play for the Bills. Not hard to say name, said that was hilarious. And that's exactly what it was. It was hilarious. And again, he said it with such conviction. Like he really believed what he was saying. He really believed in what he was saying. That is like the funniest part of all of that. Zach Carter said Josh Allen Smith. Well, he was trying to say slipped, but it looked like he did say Smith. Lee said he needs to shut his mouth. Agreed. Reggie said worst things first. Yes. One of the morning shows had a good laugh about this too. A to Z Sports tripped off of it. And Dawkins is the starter. James says, okay, he should stick to governing the NBA because he has not known nothing about the National Football League. That's true. And that's what's up. That's what's wrong with a lot of these national pundits is that, you know, they really don't know anything about the Tennessee Titans. They pretend to know, but they really don't. And a lot of them was talking about how the Bills lost, not how the Titans won. And Stephen A mentioned it on First Take. You were like, well, didn't mind them going for it on fourth down. He didn't like the play call because he was like, well, everybody and their mama know what the play was that was coming. I'm like, duh, you're right. Pretty much in that situation for the Bills, that was their only option. And even if everybody does know the quarterback sneak is coming, Tennessee Titans defense still had to stop it, which they did. So, I mean, it's pathetic. It was pathetic, you know, and that was, it was so funny. It was definitely funny. Well, yes, Ms. Bim, that's the thing. You thought, I don't know if you had thought it was last year's playoff, but yes, 2020, the year before, yes, that was when we went to the championship against Kansas City. And then last year, we unfortunately lost to Baltimore in the first round. So, you know, we're definitely getting on the same page on that. Like I said, I don't think anybody watches that show. I should have heck don't, especially with Nick Wrong on the show, that douchebag of an idiot. And I know he's going to be all giddy talking about Kansas City for this game. And of course, they're making excuses, you know, for why the Titans won the game and the Bills lost. And that's perfectly fine. Yes, we should embrace that. And John, yeah, it made sense. In that situation, Zach Moss wasn't running the ball well. Devin Singletary wasn't running the ball well. Josh Allen was the rushing offense. I mean, I think a lot of guys, there's very few teams that probably shouldn't have done that particular play. If it's Josh Allen, yeah, quarterback sneak. Even on the other side, if it was Tannehill, I could see Tannehill doing it. A quarterback sneak or handing off. I mean, if it was us, we have many more options. Yeah, Justice Lawson, the guy that said that is a NBA insider, Chris Broussard, an NBA guy. Let me say that again, an NBA guy. Now, Stephen A is an NBA guy, but at least he knows quite a bit about the NFL and about football. Thank his old boy Skip Bayless for that. He at least knows something about football. Chris Broussard's an NBA guy. I had never heard him talking football until this. Reggie says his whole take was based on ignorance. Tell me you don't watch the games without telling me you don't watch the game. That was great. Oh, that was great. I like that. James said, how do you use the old Severance online? Y'all are coming with it. Y'all are coming with it today. This is great. I'm loving it. I'm loving it. Yes. Kid said, these guys hate the Titans, so they try to put the Titan players on the Beefalo team. Oh, my God. Y'all are cracking me up. And it's beautiful. James said, the first time I heard the clip earlier today, had me laugh because of how dumb he looks. He did. He looked dumb. He looked really dumb. Josh said, I have more confidence that we can beat the Chiefs. The Bills had the number 3 rush defense. Henry put 153 yards, 3 TDs. True. So that is my shut your pie hole moment. It was way too funny. Way too funny for me. Josh said, help me understand why there's such a feeling around the media that the Colts can and probably will win the division. Now, the Colts are starting to kind of find their footing. It looks like Carson Wentz is a little bit healthy. They thrashed the Houston Texans 31-3, but they're still 2.5 games back. And the fact that we beat Buffalo, and I think if we go ahead and we beat Kansas City as well, and, you know, everything, and then I believe the Colts play the 49ers, we could keep that 2.5 game lead. And if we beat the Colts in a couple of weeks, if we beat the Colts in a few weeks on Halloween, we could probably knock them out of the conversation because we would have swept them. So I think there's a lot of good things that could definitely happen. So we had some fun with that. But now it is time for some news. As, of course, our very own King Henry was named the Offensive Player of the Week for this performance. So he got the award. I believe it's his second time winning the AFC Offensive Player of the Week award, which was well deserved after this game. And I think, and it makes me wonder, and it makes me ask a particular, actually, I'm going to say that question for Pick My Brain. I'm going to say that question for Pick My Brain. But, I mean, the dude is tearing it up. He has 740 yards. He has 740 yards and 10 touchdowns. No, I'm sorry. You know what? Let me get my facts straight. Let me get my facts correct. So I'm not like Chris Broussard and completely got my facts wrong. Derrick Henry has 783 yards and 10 touchdowns. The dude is 217 yards away from 1,000, and we're not even at the halfway point of the season. And he's almost at 1,000. He's almost at 1,000. We're not even halfway done. And as of right now, Derrick Henry is on pace for 2,219 yards. He is averaging 130 yards a game. Now, he does have 162 carries, which could be a little bit concerning, but I don't hear Derrick Henry complaining. But the dude is a freaking monster. A freaking monster. And a lot of guys on Twitter, a lot of football players are giving respect to him for that performance. Out the Crib Custom says, Broussard is forever lame. Yep. And thank you to my statistician, Lee Hillis. I don't know how I'm going to pay him. But yes, this was the 13th victory for the Titans when trailing in the fourth quarter. They have come back and won since 2018. And since Tannehill has been the starter, 9 comeback victories. And Lee, you're right. Stephen A. basically said, built differently. And as one of my, a guy that's a wrestler that I know by the name of Brian Cage, he's not a man. Derrick Henry is a freaking machine. Is a freaking machine. Guys like Derrick Henry are not born. They are not made. They are built. They are built. Something out of a warehouse. I mean, it's got to be a pretty special laboratory where they made Derrick Henry. I mean, the dude is just built differently. He's not a monster. He's a monstar. I definitely like this from Ian Tyler says, MV King. That's a good one. That's a good one for King Henry. Zach, I heard Chris Tucker was hovering over Lawan when he got knocked out. Y'all wrong for that. Y'all wrong for that one now. But glad to know that Taylor Lewan is moving around. He's fine. I believe Tannehill talked to him today. He did not participate in the walkthrough. A lot of guys didn't. I think Vrabel was trying to take it slow today since, they had the game Monday night. I believe AJ didn't practice. Julio didn't practice. A lot of guys did not participate in the walkthrough early on. So we'll definitely see what happens on Thursday as we get ready for Kansas City. Now, the Titans did bring in a couple of of guys. I think off of, they brought in Bobby Hart, an offensive lineman, probably not very good, and then Greg Maben as well, a corner who was on the Titans practice squad before he got cut. Don't really know how much that's going to help us. I still think we need to be in the market for a corner. We need to go trade for one or anything like that. So we're definitely got to try to see what they decide to do. But yeah, AJ Brown, Randy Bullock, Chris Jackson, Julio Jones, Taylor Lewan, Jeremy McNichols, Chester Rogers. All those guys did not participate in the walkthrough. Corey Blasingame, Monty Rice, Roger Saffold were limited. Tyreek Hill did not practice. Chris Jones and Travis Kelce were limited. But again, it's early. So I really don't take a lot of stock in that until later on this week. Now, Ian has said, should we add an additional pass rusher? And I know where you're going with that. Whitney Merciless got released from the Texans. Now, word is there is some mutual interest between him and Kansas City. Honestly, I would not mind if Vrabel took a look at him. And let's see, Cloudy said you should get Big Titan TV on show as a guest. I'm not sure who that is. I have to look them up. If they're on Twitter, I'll definitely try to take a look at them. Let's see. Then said, do you do a Titans fan of the week on your show? I haven't. Maybe that's something that I start. I know my guy Boo Noop usually does has a fan of the week, although I haven't been nominated for one before. So Justin Law said Whitney Mercer signed with the Packers. Didn't they just they just got Jalen Smith and everything? I'm like, God, dog, the rich keep getting richer. So Merciless goes to the Packers. Well, so much for that. Definitely so much for that. So we're definitely gonna have to see about that. So but yes, I mean, Derrick Henry being the offensive player of the week makes me ask, have a question for Pick My Brain. But before we do that, let's go to stock up, stock down. Whose stocks are up and whose stocks are down after this game with Buffalo? And so here's what I would say. We do have a little money to spend. We probably got to go do something. Stock up. Got to go with Big Jeff. Because, yes, he had that big stop on fourth down, but he also had a big sack in the game and was very good in the run game as well. He was definitely doing a lot of work. Danico Autry is becoming probably the best signing of this free agent class. Now, Derrick Henry, that goes without saying. And Clowney, I will definitely look that up. Clowney Super Bowl. I'll definitely look him up. So I'll definitely try to check that out. Danico Autry's been playing very well on the D-line with Big Jeff. And it's made, the Titan defensive line extremely formidable up front. And then David Long continues to head up. Landry, his stock is already up. That's why I didn't mention him. His stock is already up. That much is a fact. So stock is definitely up on David Long. And A.J. Brown coming back into form. Had 7 catches, 91 yards in the game, all in the second half, and they were all big plays, without a doubt. So let's see. Sean coming in saying Landry and David Long stock up. Ian, Landry, Simmons, King Henry, NWI, and Bullock stocks up. And Randy Bullock has been a solid kicker. That's why we haven't had to rush Ficken back yet. Josh says AJ. Also says Landry. Out the Crib Custom says offensive coordinator isn't as bad as I thought. Right now, I agree. Quesenberry, I would say the offensive line held up. Tannehill did not get sacked. So there's a little bit better from the offensive line. His stock continues to go up. Landry's about to get paid, y'all. Landry is going to get paid. But here, we're going to go stock down. And stock down, definitely got to go with Janoris. I will not call him Jackrabbit because he doesn't deserve the name. But Janoris Jenkins definitely stock down. I see a lot of people trying to say Caleb Farley stock down. I don't think that's fair because I don't think Farley really didn't get a whole legitimate shot. And, this was his first start. And so I think it's very hard to judge Caleb Farley just off of his first start. So I can't really put him in there. But Janoris, he sucks. Janoris sucks. And it is no doubt that Janoris Jenkins is just not that good. I mean, if we go out and trade for a player, then maybe we can make Janoris expendable and kick him on off the team because he sucks. And Big Titan TV, what's up, man? Hey, Clowney's definitely talking a lot about you. I'm about to check you out. Definitely got to check you out. I know a lot of people are saying start down on Taylor Lewan. I wouldn't say that either. I think Lewan was starting to kind of get it together. And I think the offensive line took a step forward with their play on Monday night. I mean, they were playing against the number one defense in the league, and Tannehill held up. And Derrick Henry, rushed for 143 yards. So I'm not going to really be too mad at the offensive line. Now, Nate Davis needs to continue to get back to form, but he did okay. Chester Rogers hasn't gotten as many offensive snaps, but that's because Nick Westbrook-Akina is getting them. And Chester Rogers, we need him more on special teams. So that's the thing that we have to do. Diego says, come on now, we don't have DBs and you want to kick him out. I mean, with Janoris, we don't have a choice. We don't have a choice but to keep him in there. I just said if we trade for somebody, or maybe we also get, let's say, I saw a Cam Dantzler or an Xavier Howard. If you get an Xavier Howard or a Kyle Fuller, you can kick Janoris Jenkins out. And you can still go get a Cam Dantzler, and then you're looking all right. But, Jackrabbit sucks to me. And that's just the truth. But we are very thin at corner. So we really don't have a choice but to play him. Ian says Evans and Bunny Rabbit. Evans wasn't terrible in this game. Tier Tart is definitely doing pretty good. He will be more towards the stock up. Big Titan says Jackass Jenkins. I love how a lot of y'all have called him Jackass Jenkins. JT says, even though this is late, but stock up Molden. Stepped into the slot full time. Now, that would have been a good matchup for him. I know there was some time where the corners looked like they were confused. At times, I know Molden kind of was trying to make sure he was in the right position. Dane Cruikshank had to come in and be like a third safety or play some slot corner as well because, I mean, we were getting decimated. But I think Elijah Molden has done well. Now, in this game, he might have a little bit of a problem because there's more speed there. So, you know, that could be a problem. James said we had a deeper core back room, would definitely be in favor of getting rid of Jenkins. Yeah, I would say we get rid of Jenkins, but unfortunately we can't because we don't really have a choice because we really don't have any corners as it is. So, with that being said, everybody, it's time to name who is your two-tone blue star of the week. And yes, Bills Mafia also goes stock down because we sent them home crying with a loss. I was basically saying it on the way out. I said, Bills Mafia, thank you for your participation, but your services are no longer required. Thank you so much. Y'all be safe riding home. So, who is your two-tone blue star of the week? And I think it is pretty obvious where this award is going to go, but I do want to hear some other people's thoughts. Blavin Patel says, besides Derrick Henry, I mean, I think everybody is gonna have the same answer. Uh, he says, you know how it is. MV King. JT says, I think it goes to AJ Brown stepped up. And AJ Brown does deserve some consideration. I think Harold Landry deserves some consideration as well. I think Kevin Byard could also be an honorable mention because I think the mayor of Murfreesboro is back with a vengeance. Has to be Henry as usual, but I'll go out on the limb and say Simmons showed up. True. Josh says, Titans fans outperform Bills Mafia. Not easy to do, but we sure did do the job. Trade a 2023 fifth for Xavier Howard and a 2022 sixth for Dantzler and a 2023 fifth. I would probably just trade the sixth for Dantzler, maybe the fifth for Xavier Howard because I think he's still dealing with an injury, so we might be able to do something, but some stuff will have to be worked out contract-wise. And I mean, you know, if you get rid of Jenkins and get Xavier Howard, Fulton comes back. If you have that, then you give Farley more time to heal. So I probably would not mind that. Diego said AJ wanted to the toilet. And Derek picked on him too, said we were just making sure we had enough toilet paper. I'm like, oh my God. Shay Price comes in with Big Jeff. Ken Wood said I went and subscribed to the channel. I appreciate that. To Big Titan TV. I'm definitely going to check out Big Titan TV as well. So I'm definitely going to check that out too. So shout out to Big Titan TV. But I agree. Dolphins would expect nothing less than a first for Howard. Very unrealistic. Well, since they're about to trade, looks like they're about to trade for Deshaun Watson. I mean, who knows? We might be able to finagle them. We'll definitely have to see about that. But I think it is pretty simple. The two-tone blue star of the week is definitely the King, Derrick Henry. Salute. So Derrick Henry, the two-tone blue star of the week. And I see a lot of people talking about trade a first for Howard. No, I wouldn't. Now, TD did mention it on Twitter saying that the salary cap hit would be too big to try to get Howard. They will probably have to work out some reconstruction on some contracts. They would have to work out a contract or two before they could bring in Xavier Howard. Shay Price says, Byard has been tremendous. Has been tremendous so far. And I do agree with that. So, where there's a star of the week, there has to be a dunce of the day. And I do think this, again, is a pretty easy answer to answer the question. Who is the dunce of the day? Bombadil says, we all know J-Rod can't draft in the first round. Well, you got Big Jeff in the first round. You got, we had Corey Davis and Adoree Jackson, but they're both gone. Caleb Farley, again, unfortunate, with what's been going on with him and everything. And then Chris Jackson also went down. So that was something that is unfortunate. A lot of people saying Rabbit. Let's see. Lee Hiller says the home run throwback 2.0. I'm not sure exactly who you're talking about there. Josh says Chris Jackson. Ian says Chris Broussard. Well, I've already told him to shut his pie hole. Brandon Morgan going with Jack Rabbit. Justice going with Jackass Jenkins. Zach coming in with Rabbit and Borders. Shay going with Rabbit. Johnson, Jackson got picked on all night. True. And I mean, I would have done the same thing. I would have done the same thing if I was a quarterback. Now, Diego said David Long with the stupid hit on Allen. Yeah, that was probably not a good time for that hit to happen with David Long. Agree. But I think the dunce of the day is pretty simple. It has to go to the one and only Janoris, not Jack Rabbit Jenkins. That dude sucks. Big time. And I know everybody wants to be down on Breon Borders. I think Breon Borders' in spot duty has done well, especially last year. This year, I know he's had some issues. Chris Jackson, I think, deserves a little bit more of a shot and everything. And I don't think Chris Jackson was horrible. He wasn't great, but I don't think he was just horrible. Janoris, it sucked. And we've seen that for the last couple of games where that has been the case. And a lot of people are really talking bad about Ackerman, the special teams coach. Now, look, the whole Music City Miracle, throw with Chester Rogers, I don't really fault the special teams coach for that, for trying that. I thought it was pretty cool that they actually tried to do that. But Chester Rogers didn't make a great throw on that and led Chris Jackson forward. So, I won't really put that on special team. But Janoris Jenkins is the dunce of the day. And so now it is time for your favorite segment and mine. It is indeed time for PMB.
Check the mic and make sure it sound right, boys.
So yes, welcome in to Pick My Brain. Just want y'all to ask me a few questions and let's have a good conversation. So first off, I have a question for everybody. King for MVP. Now, as I mentioned last night on the post game, since 2000, only 4 running backs have won the MVP. And it is rarely an award that's given to anybody else but a quarterback. Does King Henry literally have a legit shot at the MVP? So I want y'all to give me your thoughts on that and also send me some questions. Diego says, what do you make of Ray Dunce not playing? I don't know. Ray Dunce should have been playing. I think he should be playing left tackle instead of Kendall Lamb. Although Lamb didn't do too bad, Ray Dunce needs to be getting more of a look. I do agree with that. Blavin Patel says, this our last season with Harold Landry. I'm going to say no. I think the Titans will re-sign Harold Landry. I think they're definitely committed to him. Zach Carter says, was the crowd louder when Derrick Henry had the 76-yard touchdown or Big Jeff getting the stuff on fourth down? I'm going to venture to say the stuff on fourth down because we knew that meant we were winning the game. Wow. Titans had a 31st ranked special teams. I wonder why. Don't know. But I would say it was definitely louder on that fourth down stuff. I thought we were really loud. Yes, Josh. It will be LT, AP, Sean Alexander, and Marshall Faulk. Those are the only four running backs that have won the award, the only four non-quarterbacks to win the award since 2000. And you got to go back to 1986 before you find the last defensive player to win the award. Blavin Patel says if the Titans win the AFC, Henry is MVP. Ian says he should definitely be a serious consideration. It's the most valuable player for the team. Ray Dunce played. I did not see Ray Dunce really get any significant snaps on the offensive line. I know he was there in special team, but I don't think he played like offensive line snaps. Oh, excuse me for that. I'm sorry, y'all. We right now are the number 3 seed. We're tied for the number 2 seed in the AFC. So we definitely got some ground to make up on Baltimore. But that number 1 seed is within reach. Excuse me. What do you think of J-Rob consistently thinking picking injured guys is the way to go? I know J-Rob is probably thinking I could get some value for this guy because he should have been picked a lot earlier and he wasn't. Sometimes you got to go with the sure thing. Somebody that can go ahead and produce for you right away instead of somebody that's hurt and you got to wait for him. So I don't know really what was the logic behind him picking injured guys or knuckleheads like Panda, but the draft can be a crapshoot. I mean, look at Miami and Tua. Miami thought they were getting a franchise quarterback in Tua, and now Tua might be getting traded. So we'll definitely have to see about that. What do you think our trajectory is if we can beat the Chiefs and the Colts? I mean, it will be looking really good, and then that Sunday night game with LA would just be an added bonus. Would not matter if we win or lose that game. And if we beat the Colts, I think the AFC South is pretty much wrapped up without saying it too quickly. Said, do you believe in Buffalo's decision to leave the clock running down to the end? I guess they thought they were going to win the game, and they figured, well, leave as little time as possible for the Titans. So, because the Titans were starting to kind of pick up some energy in the second half. So, I think run the clock down. They were just trying to make sure we didn't have much of an opportunity. Zach says he has at least a 30% shot. If he can't get a single vote, last year when he had 5 more touchdowns than Adrian Peterson's MVP season, then I'd say it's a quarterback award. And I think it is mostly a quarterback award. But I think if Derrick Henry gets another 2,000 or even breaks the record, which he's on his way to shattering that record, then I think it's no denial that it has to be Derrick Henry. And we do play the Rams on Sunday night. JT said it's time for Henry to win the MVP. I agree. There's no clear quarterback that's an MVP so far. Lamar Jackson might have something to say about that. Dak Prescott could have a little something to say. Justin Herbert, even though they kind of fell back down to earth a little bit, but there's a couple of people who could have something to say about that. Big Titan TV says, who will cover Tyreek Hill? I have no idea. That is an excellent question. Hit them likes. Yeah, playing the Rams really won't affect our seeding. I definitely agree with that. Where does King Henry rank for you as favorite Titans of all time? Oh, that's a good one. I would venture for me personally, I have to go 3 behind Eddie George and Steve McNair. But Derrick Henry definitely deserves a lot of love. And I mean, he definitely very well should be in line to win MVP. John said, we beat KC and the Colts, we could get blown out by LA and I wouldn't care. That's true. Because again, that's a bonus game. And Justice coming in saying this game is going to be different because from the AFC Championship game, we didn't have the pass rush when we played them before. This is in Nashville, and we have a pass rush. That's true. And there is a lot of problems with that Kansas City defense, which we would definitely get to. So, any other questions for Pick My Brain? Let's see what we got before we do move on and talk about the Kansas City Chiefs. Zach said, we ain't getting blown out by the Rams. Jameson says, King Henry in my top 5. He's my top 3. With no doubt in my mind. So, thank y'all so much for the questions. If y'all got any other questions, you can still hit me up here and also off air. But now it's time to preview the Kansas City Chiefs as the Kansas City Chiefs come in 3-3 on the year. They defeated the Washington football team 31-30. Patrick Mahomes ended up throwing for over 300 yards. And you know, he had a couple of interceptions, but they were still able to get the job done despite the turnovers. Trying to bring up some stats. Mahomes threw for 397 in that game with 2 TDs and 2 interceptions. Kelsey had 8 catches, 99 yards. Tyreek had 9 for 76 on the score. DeMarcus Robinson had 3 for 46 and a score. Mecole Hardman had 4 for 62. And he had 8 different guys catch the football. And this is the Chiefs' offensive numbers. Number 5 in points scored, number 2 in yards per game, 10th in running the ball, 2nd in passing the ball, and they've allowed only 10 sacks. Whereas the Titans are 8th in points scored, 11th in yards per game, 3rd in running the ball, but 27th in passing the ball. So you best better believe Kansas City is probably going to try to dare us to pass the ball. So we got to be on our P's and Q's against this offense. This offense is still quite potent. And on the defensive side of the ball, the Titans are 24th in points allowed, 24th in yards per game, 9th against the run, 24th against the pass, with 13 sacks, and their turnover differential is -3. But on the other side, Kansas City boasts one of the worst offenses, one of the worst defenses in the league. 28 in points allowed, averaging right at 30 points a game. They're 28th in yards allowed per game, 27th in run defense, 25th in pass defense. Only have 7 sacks as a team, and their turnover differential is -8. So, this defense is not good for Kansas City, and I think there's a lot of ways we could take advantage of that. Powwow, I appreciate the super chat. If Henry breaks the record before week 16, then you have to give him MVP. I agree with that. I think if Derrick Henry, first of all, if he goes for another 2,000 yards, he should be MVP. But if he breaks the record, he's got to win MVP. Because first of all, he'll be the only player in NFL history with 2 2,000-yard seasons. And not only that, doing it back to back and breaking the record. Now, if he does that before week 16, yeah, I would agree with that. And remember, he is projected to rush for 2,219 yards. That is 114 yards more than the record that Eric Dickerson set at 2,105. Derrick Henry has a chance to not just beat the record, but shatter the record. And Josh is right. Back to back to back rushing titles. And a lot of teams are going to try to really pass on us because we have no corners. And I think the Chiefs defense is in trouble. And I agree with Josh. Kansas City's O-line hasn't been great. Stopping Landry, Autry, Simmons is not going to be easy for them. So there are a lot of ways the Titans can win this game. And that's why, there and then Henry, because Henry has a chance to win, can change that by winning the Super Bowl. True. So once again, Power Hour, thank you for the super chat. Those are very much appreciated. And so now it is time for the Blue Enforcer 4 points to victory. So, the Blue Enforcer 4 points to victory How can the Tennessee Titans continue their winning ways and get to 5-2 and defeat the Kansas City Chiefs? Point number one, as a pastor would say, don't fall for the setup. Even though the Kansas City Chiefs are 3-3 on the year, this is still the Kansas City Chiefs, and Patrick Mahomes is on the other side. So do not let that 3-3 record fool you. Don't let the 3-3 record fool you. They are still very dangerous on the offensive side of the ball. Still very dangerous. So do not underestimate the Kansas City Chiefs. Patrick Mahomes can still light a team up. He did that with Washington, and Washington was supposed to have a decent defense. So that's point number one. Number two, same thing. Control the narrative. The best defense is a good offense. This is the 28th ranked defense. Take advantage of that and keep their offense off the field. And keep that defense on the field. And Derrick Henry can eat them alive. Now, one thing that Kansas City will definitely try to do is cause turnovers. That's what they're going to try to do to try to alleviate that pressure being put on the defense, is to try to get some turnovers. And, the secondary, I don't know who's going to be playing back there, which does have me concerned with Patrick Mahomes coming in the house. I'm definitely nervous a little bit. But we got to control the narrative, take advantage of this defense. Number three, to our side. On defense, don't just play hard, play smart. Play ice cold. Match up well. Don't let Kelsey and Hill run crazy or run amok. With no running game, you can focus more on those couple of guys. You can focus more on Hill. You can focus more on Kelsey. And then make sure you can still take care of DeMarcus Robertson and Pringle and any of those other guys that maybe come out of the backfield. And then last but not least, build on the Buffalo win. Continue to shock the world and stack up wins. You're at home. Use the crowd. Let them cheer you on. Make some big plays. So, again, number one, don't fall for the setup. Number two, control the narrative. Number three, play smart on defense. And number four, build on the win. And don't lose that momentum. And so, again, y'all, when I do my TNT pregame, that's where I will give my prediction. I see Ms. Mims basically saying the Titans are going to win. Zach Carpenter says, get Henry rolling early. And the thing about it, like I said last night, usually Derrick Henry starts off slow. He's starting off hot right now. Hot. Money Mike says, we probably play a lot of cover two to help our corners. Make KC go the long way. And I agree with that. You make Kansas City earn every point that they score. Make them earn it all. Power Hour says the Chiefs defense is putrid. Hit the gas pedal on offense and don't let up. I agree with that. Show no mercy. Mercy is for the weak. So those are my 4 points to victory. And now, instead of a blue bombshell, which again, congratulations to Stephanie, our girl Stephanie Perkins, on being named the Titans Fan of the Year, I have another shut your pie hole moment. And I'm trying to pull something up. I'm trying to see if I can pull up a video from a couple of years ago. Let's see. All right. Y'all give me a moment. I'm almost there. But, I really think somebody deserves to have to shut their pie hole for something that they said. And you know what? I think I have it on Facebook. You know what? Another shut your pie hole moment goes to somebody that, even though they do a lot of great work, Zach, you have a good night at work. You have a good night at work, sir. Maven is not the answer. I hope we do something else. Titan Tiger 1000 says best bet Titans are going to win. Titans 41, Chiefs 24. We'll definitely see about that. But the person that deserves to shut their pie hole is me. I need to tell myself to shut my pie hole. And here is why. Derrick Henry could be in the conversation for MVP, and he is having an incredible year. A couple of years ago, the Tennessee Titans went to London to take on they were then the San Diego Chargers, but now the LA Chargers. And Dion Lewis had a really good game. I believe he rushed for like 101 yards in that game. And my stupid tail said that the Titans backfield, I said, this is Dion Lewis's backfield now. I basically said, defer to Dion Lewis over Derrick Henry. What's up, D09? I basically said, Derrick Henry, you're the second guy. Dion Lewis is the man. What the hell was I thinking? Saying something so blasphemous as that. Now, of course, after all that, I kept saying, Derrick Henry has to earn my trust. He's got to I kicked him out of my house. He's got to earn his way back into my house. I said every week after that, I was like, okay, you got to come off the sidewalk and onto my lawn. Then you go on my lawn to get to my doorstep. Then you get up the stairs. Then you get to knock on the door. Then you get to open up the door. You sit in the chair by the door. Then you can get towards the couch. Then you can get towards the dinner table. And then you know what? You can get head of the table and you can eat. Now, Tori, we started off with Chris Broussard shutting pie hole. So that was first. And he definitely deserved, matter of fact, yes, So we're going to play that in a second. But yes, I need to make sure once again I shut my pie hole because I was wrong. I was wrong. Derrick Henry is a freaking monster. And as Stone Cold would say, that's about all I can say about that because the guy is a legit boss. Once again, Chris
But it
Broussard.
got blown up on the left side because of the pressure of Tennessee. I wonder why. Could it be because Buffalo's Pro Bowl left tackle, Taylor Lewan, was injured? If he's there, maybe that doesn't happen, but he's out. So you got a second stringer that Josh Allen's trying to go behind, and you see he got destroyed. Dawkins, whoever that is. All right, so that's the problem. You're not good in the red zone over.
Yeah, Chris Broussard definitely deserved to shut his pie hole for that ridiculous comment that he mentioned. And Josh, you got that right. He ran through that house and told me to shut my pie hole. So, yes, I do deserve that. I do. And so, since then, I've learned my lesson from a couple of years ago. Never doubt the king. Miss Evelyn, how you doing? Hopefully Lewan is able to play the entire game without injury because we need him. Well, he's in concussion protocol right now, and he's gonna have to pass that before he can play. And but there were a lot of good signs that Lewan was up and around. Seemed like he's functioning okay, and probably just had the wind knocked out of him. That looks like that's what happened. Titan Talker says, how dare you? But he said he shrugged when Tannehill joined the team. I was wrong. Yeah, I think a lot of us were wrong at that time. Valtora said, media will find an excuse not to credit the team for a great game. And it was a great game. And Tremaine, he said all the time, po little tink tink. Power Hour says, don't stress, I had high hopes for Mettenberger. No, Josh, protocol does not last a few weeks. It can last about a week. But I think Taylor Lewan has to practice at least, I want to say 3 times. And before the doctors could clear him, let me see if I can look up concussion protocol. All right. So, let me see. Give me just a second, y'all. I'm trying to see. Okay, so here it is. Return to participation. Has to go through a 5-step process before being cleared to fully practice or play in a game. Let's see. But he has to go through 5 steps. So here it is. Step 1 is symptom, and I'm reading this off of the NFL website. Step 1, symptom limited activity. The player is prescribed rest, limiting or, if necessary, avoiding activities both physical and cognitive which increase or aggravate symptoms. Under athletic trainer supervision, limited stretching and balance training can be introduced, progressing to light aerobic exercise as all as tolerated. So that's step one. Step two is aerobic exercise. Under direct oversight of team medical staff, players should begin graduated cardiovascular exercise and may also engage in dynamic stretching and balance training. Neurocognitive and balance testing can be administered after completion of phase 2, and results should be interpreted as back to baseline. Phase 3 is football specific. Continue with supervised cardiovascular exercise that are increased and may mimic sports specific activities, and supervised strength training is introduced. The player is allowed to practice with the team in sports specific exercise for 30 minutes or less with ongoing and careful monitoring. Step 4 is club-based non-contact training drills. So he continues the cardiovascular strength, balance training, team sport specific exercise, and then can get into non-contact football activities. But again, neurocognitive and balance testing should be completed no later than the end of phase 4 with results interpreted back to baseline. And then last but not least, full activity clearance. Upon clearance by the club physician for full football activity involving contact, player must be examined by the independent neurological consultant assigned to his club. If that consultant concurs with the club physician that the player's concussion has resolved, he may participate in the club's next practice or game. So that is the 5-step process. And that can be done over the course of a week. But if they feel like he cannot pass the protocol, then he has to sit out. Look, I would have took J.J. Watt over Jake Locker too. And no, right now, we don't know the severity of McNichols' injury right now. He did not practice. Darrington Evans is designated to return, but they have not activated him to the roster yet. Last time LaJuan had a concussion, Vrabel told him he isn't playing in the next game no matter what. Well, we'll have to see about that. We'll have to definitely see about that. I don't know who we're talking about being released. I think we do need LaJuan. But if he is not healthy to go in this game, I would not risk it. And so I think LaJuan is still possibly able to play, but he has to pass that protocol. And that is true. It is a short week. If it was a regular week, maybe he has a much, much better chance. But we'll have to see. So it is what it is on that. We'll definitely find out about Taylor LaJuan more this week. But everybody, that's going to be the show for tonight. I will do a TNT pregame this weekend and a postgame. Probably going to do a live stream. I'm not sure if I'll be at Indigo this weekend because I will unfortunately not be at the Chiefs game. It is my wife's birthday weekend, so I got to do right and everything. So I will be watching, probably going to be doing a live stream of that game. So stay tuned for that. I thank y'all for tuning in to tell you the truth. Yes, and Johnny Townsend was released, which means it looks like Brett Kern is going to return. So that's something that I believe is going to happen. We're definitely going to need LaJuan for Indy. So I think he may sit out this game. We'll definitely see about that. But everybody, I'm about to call it a night. I'm finna go give me some dinner because I got to get ready for work in the morning. But once again, everybody, I just have to say I just have to say thank you. Thank you to everybody for helping me along this way. Thank y'all for helping me get over 1,000 subscribers. Let's get more. Let's give me the 2,000. And once again, if you want your TNT swag, make sure you hit my girl Latoya up on Facebook or on Instagram at Queen Butterfly Tees. Also, queenbutterflytees@gmail.com. If you want a Titans of Truth hat, hit my boy up at outthecribcustoms.com or at out_the_crib_customs on Instagram. And once again, y'all, thank y'all for tuning in to Titans of Truth. I'm your man to Titans of Truth tonight. I'm your man, Chris, a.k.a. Blue Enforcer. And we got to tighten up because, again, that's all we know how to do. Thank you, Power Hour. Thank you, everybody. And y'all have a great, great night.